All right, let's get to it. Our Sunday edition of the likes, the leans, the locks. It's really just leans and locks right now. Lindquist eliminated the likes. So who am I to disagree, right? We appreciate you rolling with us 7 days a week. We don't stop with the NBA. Every single game on the slate. That's our promise to you. And in return, we just ask that you hit the thumbs up button and you subscribe here to the Odd Shop channel. Also, I have $5 into $200 right away on DraftKings. It's really that simple. So before we look at this 9-game slate, let me just tell you how you can turn $5 into $200 instantly. You don't need to win or lose anything. You don't even need to wait for the game to start. Here's the thing. You're brand new to DraftKings. Awesome. Just sign up below. There's a link for you. It's going to take you 90 seconds out of your life to sign up below. And then link an account. Can be your bank account, can be a PayPal account, what have you. Doesn't matter. Deposit $5 and only $5. Then immediately bet Georgia on the national championship game. Money line, Monday night. Immediately bet that because you don't even need to wait for that game to kick off, let alone to finish, for you to see $200 right back into your account. Instant. So this is the thing you've been waiting for. All of you out there are like, no, I'll sign up when I get something worthwhile, when I get the real offer. This is the real offer. So step up and sign up below. All right, let us begin here. The Philadelphia 76ers minus Joel Embiid, clearly a different animal, right? We know that. We get that. That's just life in Philadelphia. Right now, looking at this game in Detroit, you're getting just under 6, which I like. Just under 6 points here for a Sixers team that is probably 6 to 8 points better than Detroit on any given night without Embiid. But we add in the fact that they were humiliated at home by Chicago, specifically Zach LaVine. I think you have a really strong bounce back spot where anything under 6 really works here. Anything under 6, and all of a sudden you've got just a quasi blowout, a handling of the Detroit Pistons. Look, this is 8 points, 8.5. It's a different story. I understand that. But here, I like opening up with a lean Sixers minus 5.5. Nice bounce back opportunity for them. And Detroit isn't getting any better overnight. So we're good there. Now, from there, we go. And I love this next game here because the Blazers, really good spot for Portland right now, on the road in Toronto. Neither one of these teams doing anything much, right, as far as when it comes to closing out games. Portland, though, look, Portland healthy for the most part, then we're okay. You know, you have to wait on Nurkic right now. Gary Payton is looking like he's going to be good there too. So no real concerns right now with the injuries. And I think that's what we look at in the second game, especially with Portland on the road getting a full possession at 3 points. I want to lean points. I want to lean Blazers. Both teams, I think, are going to be locked in a tight game. I don't anticipate Portland being blown out. I don't see the opposite either. With both Nurkic and Payton out there on the floor, you've got a more complete, deeper Portland team. And Toronto's a different animal at home. We get that. But I like this spot for Portland more so than anything else at 3. Look, under 3, it's a different story. I don't know if we play them at 2. But we're getting the benefit of that extra point, that full bucket on the road against a team in Toronto that's not really closing stuff out either. Okay? Not really either. Next one. And this may surprise some of you. Still going to be a lean. We haven't locked anything up yet. But we're going to lean under. It's just a big number. 241.5. We're going to lean under with this Pacers-Hornets game. I think you look at this game on the surface, you think, wow, the Pacers score a shit ton of points. The Hornets do not. Why aren't you just taking the Pacers spread? Because the total going over 241.5 requires both really to score. And even the Pacers, right? Like you go under 241, you can still get an offensive explosion from the Pacers, but you're pretty much expecting blowout city with Charlotte. They're on the road, remember. I don't like Charlotte doing much here at all. I don't think the Pacers lay down either. And at some point, you're just going to get blown out of the fourth quarter. This could also be an early setting of the tone where you see Indiana up by 30 at the half. Would it really shock you at home if they're up 60 to 30 at the half? where it's not just this deficit that Charlotte has to climb out of, but it's a low-scoring deficit as well. Just because Indiana gives up points while they score doesn't mean that there's some easy target here. We will lean under 241.5 to score on them and trust that Charlotte just doesn't have enough to keep up, and then they slowly start falling behind a little bit. Now we get to our lock. Now we get to lock this sucker up. And I'm going to have to just lay points here. I don't want to pay the price on the money line. This is apparently jumped, actually, to 4. This was at 2.5 earlier when I was looking at it. I could not believe it that it was at 2.5, but it's at 4 now, which makes more sense. Now, we're taking some end of this. That's not ideal. It'd be great if I told you on Saturday night when this thing pops out, hey, jump on the Nets at 2.5, and then we open up the thing on Sunday afternoon and we see that it's up to 4. Well, it's at 4 now. This is probably going to go up to 6. Miami, the big thing you have to worry about here is just simply who's going to play, who's not going to play, right? Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, all guys that are right now just listed. Brooklyn is tough to slow down. And I don't know what you're doing betting against the Nets right now. There's just no need to. There's no real stretch. There's no real force to do this. The Nets are on fire. They continue to win. They've won 9 of 10. That win stopped, or that loss, stopped a major streak, and then they picked right back up and won again. I don't really know on the other side what you're going to get from their opponent. Maybe that's the better way to look at it, is outside of being at home, what is Miami truly offering here? What is Miami going to do besides slow this thing down and try and mug Brooklyn to a 101-98 victory? Notice I gave you a score in which Miami covered. That ain't happening. Kevin Durant, Kyrie, these guys right now are top heavy, and it's just awesome to see because you know exactly what's coming with the Brooklyn Nets, and the league just doesn't have an answer for it right now. Who knows? Playoffs, deeper, more guys to score, all that shit aside. Right now, we'll lay the 4 with the Brooklyn Nets on the road. That's a lock. Go ahead, lock that up. Jazz, second night of the back-to-back. We anticipate somebody on Memphis actually sitting here. This line is at 9 right now, and I don't know why you wouldn't jump on Utah right now. The reality here for the Jazz, as things continue to slip and they try and find that early season form, it's just tough on the second leg of the back-to-back playing the Grizzlies. It's tough on the first leg. It's tough on any night playing the Grizzlies. You compound the fact that you're in Memphis. No issue there with the Utah Jazz, though, taking advantage of just that. Well, who's going to, guys sit at home. That whole thing is over now. NBA, the team, the players, the union, I don't know who, but they got past all that, and rightfully so. But they're going to win this game, even if you see 1 or 2 guys sit. So I don't think it's going to be like a top-end guy, but it's going to be the Grizzlies, where you're going to see maybe 1 or 2 guys out as a result of taking on a banged-up Jazz team on the second night of a back-to-back. So we will lean Utah +9 with the anticipation that this thing closes much shorter by 6 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. Next game, Mavericks Thunder. We're just going to take the Thunder with the points here. We're going to lean Thunder points. Dallas, we know they are coming off another one. Like we saw a pretty big powerhouse, at least for the most part, in through like 3.5 quarters, it felt like, through 3 quarters, just manhandling the New Orleans Pelicans. So now the second night of a back-to-back, except you're on the road, you're in Oklahoma City. This is prime sit mode here. I don't think Luka Doncic is out, but, from a sitting standpoint, but you still have okay, man, we're in Oklahoma City. We just played a one last night at home. Doesn't matter that you cruised. You weren't conserving energy for the Oklahoma City Thunder anyways. So let's slow down with that. We're going to lean Thunder points here. Be comfortable with that, mainly because of the second leg where Dallas is in right now. If they sit, that's fantastic. But for us, it's really just leaning with Oklahoma City. Next play, Wolves Rockets. This one here, I don't like this game. I hate pretty much everything about this game. The only thing I could do on the quadrants of selection here from spread to total would be to take the under 227.5. I mean, this is all you need to know with Minnesota right now, the situation that they're in, that they are a short 2-point favorite at Houston. I don't know what else you could really deduce here, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves are a disaster right now. And it's to no fault of their own, clearly. Very miserable play. Miserable play. Yet they've won 3 straight. Okay? See, I know the chat, I won 3 straight. Your thumbs are mashing away. Yet they've won 3 straight. Is Houston really that much better all of a sudden? Houston has lost 6 in a row. So Minnesota just laying only 2 points right now, I think is more of a general reflection of where they are. Maybe they do sit somebody because they're in Houston. I just don't like either team. And Houston, that's changed a little bit. I just don't like either team scoring a ton of points in this particular game. And I get it that both teams do give up about 130, 131 worth of points a game. But you're going to see some struggles here. You're going to see some major struggles from Minnesota despite that 3-game win streak. They're not good enough to sustain. Just like the Lakers. Lakers have won, 4 straight? But it's not good enough to overall sustain. It's not like the Nets who can win 10 in a row, then lose, then pick back up. All right? We move on. By the way, that was a lock. Our other lock. We may get you one more time, but that was a lock under 227.5 for the Houston Rockets. Now, 2 to go. Let's look at this Suns game. Cavs, Suns. You ready? You in? We know that things are just off without Devin Booker. It's not the same without Devin Booker. Chris Paul's now day-to-day. So what are you getting without Paul and possibly Booker, who's questionable? I don't really buy it. Still, a 4.5-point line for a Cavs team. That's fine at home, but I don't know how much they figured this thing truly out right now on the road. Still with a losing record, still with time to change that. But a team with a losing record still on the road, taking on a Suns team that is just outright struggling right now because they don't have the offensive prowess and firepower of Devin Booker. Just Booker coming back and Paul out, I don't think does enough here. Both out, now you're in major trouble. Major trouble. And I don't think that it's coming from a defensive standpoint. They get their key defensive efforts elsewhere, not from Devin Booker. So I think what you're going to see is an under here. Pardon me, the over here. Woof. You're going to see more play here, more volume from guys who just don't have that opportunity as a whole. And you're also going to see the Cavs take advantage of the fact that you don't have most likely Devin Booker and or Chris Paul out there. And that's going to lead to more points. This number is low. 218.5 is what you get with a full Suns squad. Not now. No. It's low, and I get it I get it. We may not see Booker, but think about this will jump if Booker's in. Think about it just from that standpoint alone. This number's 221, if not higher, if Booker's in. That's a lock right now. We're locking over 218.5 because we want to get in ahead of this. Last game here, last play. Clippers at home. It's the late West Coast game, 9 o'clock Eastern time, depending on where you are around the world. Clippers are laying 4. Look at that total, 231. Whoa. 231 on that total. I got to be honest here. That's way too high. Clippers at home are not just going to entertain the Atlanta Hawks doing what they want. In fact, Atlanta, who has continued this slide and is just holding on right now to some sense of relevance, and that would be the play-in line. I mean, like the thick line, not that dotted line. That's it. Atlanta comes here and what, scores a ton of points because the Clippers aren't great? I don't think the Clippers are going to score a lot. And that's fine for a team that is just on a major free fall. They've lost as many as Phoenix right now, 5 straight coming into this game. Atlanta's not good enough to do much. We get that. Clippers are losing games, but they're still playing strong. not a ton different defensively. Scoring has been a problem. So what are we getting here? Atlanta, one team, one bad team that comes in with a high points per game average is going to change this all, and now we have to go over a high number? If you're not, I mean, come on. Honestly, I was going to go another way with Trae Young and the Hawks, but I think you just look at it with the Clippers at home trying to stop a skid. The Clippers are at home, and they're going to do everything they can to stop a skid. That's not launch threes, 53s. That's do what they and a couple of other teams can do better than what they do on offense, and that's play defense. And Atlanta's not good enough to get around that. That's pretty much how we get in this. So lean under 231 with the Clippers. All right, we appreciate you rolling with us here on the Odd Shopper channel. Shander's Leans and Locks Saturday and Sunday. Lindy's got you Monday through Friday. We love you, and we only ask one thing in return, that you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Notice I hit the and in there, so that's, technically one thing. There's the conjunction. Also, take advantage of $5 into $200 instantly. Maybe you just fast forward to the end of the videos. I don't know. Sign up below. It's going to take you 90 seconds. Deposit $5 after you've signed up and bet the University of Georgia on the money line Monday night. You don't even need to wait for that game to kick off. You're going to get $200 right back. You just need to place the bet immediately. Once you place the bet immediately, you're going to get the $200 back into your account. All right? Have a great Sunday. We'll see you next week. Actually, Lindy, we'll see you Monday.